month later, oh, now we like to do it this way. So you just have to be open to different ideas. And
how long did you work on Clash?
4 weeks.
4 weeks? Yeah. That doesn't seem that long.
No, yeah. It was,
but so you did 4 weeks and then you were done? And
well, not quite. Not to be exaggerating, I had 4 weeks until scoring. So we were scoring, and of course I was still writing, and as we were scoring, I tried to catch up with the final dub, and so it was pretty tight.
And from the point they hired you to do the score, how much time did you have before you went into the studio and started the music?
Well, it was pretty much the next day. I mean, I got the call, I watched the movie, and I started writing. I saw the movie at 8 p.m. and I wrote that night the first theme until 5 in the morning. We got going.
And technologically, what did you employ in that score? Where did you record? What what type of orchestra? What type of like what's in your home studio to make that? I assume you have a home studio. And was there anything that movie required that you hadn't brought to a prior movie?
Not really. I think. I mean, it required a big orchestra.
Where was the orchestra?
In London. Everything had to be recorded there. So I just demoed everything on my computer, which is that's how it gets done 99% nowadays, where you just have to prepare the sonically the best demo possible and then play it for the filmmakers, and then once that gets approved, then it gets turned over to the orchestra.
On big movies, are there more chefs in the kitchen than on smaller movies?
Yes, I think in general you can say yes.
Yeah. How many chefs are there?
What did you have on Clash? I had the director, I had several producers, the picture editor, the studio. There's several people there. So yeah, it can be that you have up to 10 people in the room, and sometimes they agree and sometimes they don't. So you have to find the middle ground and figure out what you can do that everybody's happy.
Hearing 10 voices on what you should be doing sounds, as you're trying to do a creative job, sounds tough.
It is, yeah. And especially when you're writing something and you have to put your own ego aside when you present something and you think, wow, this is the best thing I've ever done, and then it just gets shut down, and then you have to put your ego aside and go, okay, maybe I'll listen to that in my car all day and think how great it is, but I have to come up with something.
And how loud is the ticking clock in terms of this has to get done in a timely? Is it louder on a bigger picture?
To me, film scoring is music divided by time. So how many notes can you spit out in that time allotted? And it doesn't matter how much time you have to be finished. You have a $35 million marketing campaign coming up. You shouldn't be the ones stopping that.
Yes. Yeah. You don't want to be known as that guy.
Yeah, so maybe we have, I don't know, songwriters in here where, I don't know if there's a time limit usually. You just have to write the song and finish it. I have highest respect for songwriting, and I'm not a good songwriter, so, but that's the business, that's the art, to do this in the time.
And since I've dwelled on all the painful, torturous parts of this process, well, to me, having 10 studio executives and producers in a room sounds painful to me. Telling me, how to do my creative job that I've been hired to do. It just sounds tough. What part of the process do you really love, and you feel like you're in your zone, and you say, okay, all this other crap is worth it because this part of it is really fun in the actual making of the music? Deborah?
For me, it's the thing I look forward to so much is the sessions. We spend a lot of time kind of isolated as composers, just in your little cave writing, and just going out there and, if you don't have your act together by the session date, I mean, you really, a lot of things are finished by that day, hopefully, so that it's going to go smoothly. So there is, for me, there's always a lot of enjoyment, especially if I get to record here in LA, I mean, it's, because, just because of, knowing everybody, knowing the people that work at the stages and knowing the orchestra and all that kind of thing. So that's that's the thing I look forward to.
You like working with orchestras and other What studio in London did you use?
My favorite studio is EMI Abbey Road.
Abbey Road, yeah. You have that amazing historic scoring stage.
It's that sound, and you have these musicians that bring their instruments. And the value of the instruments is kind of your film budget. The way they play, to me, it's Abbey Road has that sound. They put up these microphones from 1958, and they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because I have recorded in many other places, and when you come back to there, it's like it's a luxury.
Yeah. George Martin also has a nice studio down the road.
That's not too bad. That's exactly right.
The Lord of the Rings did that. And in terms of other musicians other than orchestras, do you have musicians you like? And do some of that here in LA?
I mean, if it's possible, I think is it an orchestra or just a solo musicians, I think we spend so much time in our studio and dealing with samples and programming and all that. So once the real musicians come in and play, that's just
Are things changing in the business to make it more possible to do more scoring and more of this work here in town? Is it getting any better or easier? Is it still tough?
I think it's the opposite.
It's getting harder.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear that.
I know. You asked the question.
Damn it.
I don't think I haven't thought about this many times.
We're going to do a follow-up.
It's a great shame. We have to wake up.
Yeah. Boy, the neighborhood we're in right now, Capitol Records across the street, Warner Chapel used to be down the road, all the stages, Capitol recording, Tadeo, the RCA recording.
Yeah.
And this used to be the heart of the movie music business.
Movie music and everything. I mean, I came here because, like I said, I came here to listen to these bands playing. I came to listen to these unbelievable musicians, Michael Landau, and all these incredible. And they're here, and I'm not sure how much they're working.
Let's, before we go completely off and allow no time for questions, I think there must be some questions out there. Sir.
Yeah, could you share maybe a failure or frustration and how you were able to move on from that? I'm sure there's been a few.
Which one? I haven't ever moved on since.
Or which one have you not moved on from?
See what happened yesterday. No.
And how you would overcome, if there was an opportunity to overcome it, how you actually did that.
We don't make mistakes, right?
I know. I was thinking, what am I willing to admit?
Maybe it's something like if you try to get a certain project and you think you're close and you get the call and they say, you know what, you're under the top 4, and then you think you have a good chance to get that project, and all of a sudden you get all excited, and then you get the call, and then somebody else just got the project even though you thought you maybe have it. This may be something where you just go, okay, I have to pick myself up again and go, hopefully there's another project and there will be something else.
Do your agents and managers take you to meet studio executives who are important in the decision making? Is there a bit of schmoozing that you have to make nice with studio people so that they remember, Deborah, she was great, I really liked her and I like her credits and her movies, and putting the name and face together? Do you spend time with those kinds of studio meetings or not?
Well, that's still relatively new to me, so I've been really excited. And I'm not just blowing smoke,
Yeah.
just to meet the executives. I've known who they were forever.
So you like it? You would like to have the opportunity to meet them and communicate with them about what you want to do?
Yeah. And,
I think it's great to have the approval by the studios, in a way, but to me it turned out that it's actually sometimes of disadvantage to be the guy who's brought in by the studio.
Oh, I can relate to that a lot.
Please?
Well, let me clarify that. I don't mean that they brought you in, but they have to approve the hiring.
Yes, of course. They have, they can say no.
And they do, right? A lot.